Motion. Maybe not. Let's see.
Now in motion, body down.
Good motion.
Good motion. Looking for 2 meters.
A view from Victor Glover's helmet camera as the International Space Station orbits 264 statute miles over the North Atlantic Ocean. We're coming up on 3 hours and 20 minutes into today's spacewalk, both astronauts working separately to replace cameras outside of the International Space Station.
So now it's a backward position. Stand by for the next jawcast, 2 minutes and a half.
We'll go to maneuver.
Go for maneuver. Stand by. Okay, Ike, this will be a 2.5 minutes jawcast to clamp setup. Arms come in motion.
Copy.
This helmet camera view from Victor Glover on the Canadarm2, and this one inside the International Space Station. You can see Kate Rubins, and to her left, Soichi Noguchi. They are controlling the Canadarm2 from inside, using robotic controls to maneuver the robotic arm and moving Victor Glover into place to complete his tasks on today's spacewalk.
Okay. Got it, Hopper. It's a jawcast. It's a jawcast? Okay, thanks. All right, Paul, I took a double look. I don't see any caps on tape. Again, I think it was just this, was the cap over the top of this Flight 93 thing.
Okay, that sounds good. We're good with that inspection. Appreciate that. And then other just verification is you didn't see any flaking on the white paint when you were putting a WVE in the bag?
I did not see any flaking.
All right, Hopper, with that, I think we're done out here at this work site. Saw you had the bag on the BRT. We just get a glove and hat check, and then we can send you home.
Roger that. Didn't work. Okay, dry hat. And the right glove just has some smudges on it on the pinky and ring finger.
Copy that. With that, you can go ahead and translate over to CP13. We're going to go ahead and have you do the cable mate that we were talking about before, and then big picture plan for you guys is we've got some get-aheads ahead, or following these things. Hopper, you can expect to do the S4 H fixture.
Okay, Hopper copies. You copy. So EGK, if you're waiting on me, you have to go to maneuver.
Negative, we're setting up cameras. We're almost about to go.
Mike Hopkins now moving on to his next work site. Having completed the installation of the Japanese experiment module's remote manipulator system camera upgrade.
Clamp back off position.
Copy, yes, go to maneuver.
Okay, arms in motion.
Motion.
Mike Hopkins is making his way to the CP13 worksite. That is the camera being replacing an aging camera on the Destiny laboratory. Victor Glover, you can see him on the end of the Canadarm2 being maneuvered into place for his next steps at the same worksite.
You guys got a night pass coming up in a couple minutes, and we also have a brief LOS coming up in 2 minutes.
CP1, E2. Okay, I come at my green hook. Awesome. How was that translation out there? That wasn't bad. Better than it sounded? Yeah. I mean, it was better than it sounded.
Coming up on 3 hours and 30 minutes into today's spacewalk that started at 6:56 a.m. Central Time this morning, the astronauts have been stepping through their tasks with the completion of the battery work that began in January 2017, securing the final lithium-ion battery in the station and installing the final adapter plate, as well as driving the last bolt in a direct current switching unit. Mike Hopkins also removed an H fixture that'll be necessary for future power upgrades, and the duo installed a new camera on the starboard truss. Hopkins just completed upgrades to the Japanese experiment module remote manipulator system camera, and the two are now working on installing an HD camera outside the Destiny laboratory.
2 meters up.
Good motion. Continue.
As you can see, we just went through a brief satellite handover. And we've got a question from Martina with the hashtag AskNASA on Twitter. Martina wants to know how the temperature changes during sunrise and sunset while spacewalking, how the suits are dealing with it, and if astronauts have the possibility to take a drink while on the spacewalk. In the sunlight, when the space station is in an orbital daytime, it can be 250 degrees Fahrenheit, and without sunlight, it can be a negative 250 degrees outside. Therefore, the spacesuits have a cooling garment that allows the astronaut to control the temperature inside the suit, as well as thermal properties keeping them warm. Additionally, in the suit is an in-suit drink bag that's a plastic water-filled pouch that attaches to the inside of the hard upper torso. A plastic tube with a bite valve sticks out of the bag, and the tube and the valve can be adjusted to be near the astronaut's mouth. Biting that valve opens the tube so the spacewalker can take a drink, and releasing the bite closes the valve again.
And Hopper, we just got word from JAXA that we got a good checkout on the WVE. Good work.
Let's go in 10 more centimeters. 10 more centimeters body in.
Okay, copy. 10 more centimeters body in. Motion. That's 10 centimeters.
And GCA complete.
Copy, GCA complete.
NASA astronaut Bob Hines is serving as today's ground IV, relaying information and tasks up to the crew spacewalking today.
Yep, sorry to step on you guys there.
The clamp install position.
Copy, Ike. Sorry to step on you guys there. Next, you can place the cable clamp into the PTU notch. Make sure that the cable is routing toward the stanchion, and then lock the clamp.
Work. Okay, Farmer, I'm here at CP13.
You'll also hear ground IV Bob Hines being referred to as Farmer, his call sign.
I could go ditch this bag and get the H fixture and then come back here. Okay, the clamp is installed.
And Hopper, are you able to retrieve the WAP cable? The Ethernet cable should be stowed at the base of the stanchion, and then we'll just need the WAP cable from Mike.
And I've got a nod from Ike. I'll go get it. In work. And will you have a RIT to take the cable off the WAP cable, or do you want me to take it off? No, I've got a RIT. You the cap? Yeah, I'm good. I've got one. Okay.
Hopkins on his way to retrieve a WAP cable, that stands for wireless access point, that will need to be mated to the Ethernet cable. And earlier we heard some news relayed up to the spacewalkers that JAXA, the Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency, received a good checkout on the new camera installed on their remote manipulator system outside the Cabot module.
I gotta find the... Okay, I think that's his wire tied right there. Going in. Yep. I think you're all right. Okay. Ready? Ready. I need that part. Okay, I got it. Yep. And that one, don't snug it down yet, because I've still got to install the strap. Yep. I'm just holding it so I can get the cap off. Okay.
And Hopper, our game plan is to just leave you here until we finish this task. We're really far ahead right now, so I think we'll just pick up some efficiency by keeping you here for now.
Everyone. Me too.
And Ike, we didn't hear it if you called down. Have you completed the clamp installation yet and locking the clamp?
Clamp is installed, locked with a good full test.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. And then one more thing, just verify that you did retrieve the RET off the cable clamp.
I have it to my mini workstation. I haven't taken it all the way off, though, but I'm ready to if you're ready.
Yep, as long as the clamp is installed and locked, you can remove that RET. And then there is one more arm position. It's the strap position. So whenever you're ready, you can move the arm to that position.
Actually, I'm going to stay here for a second. So I'm good in the current position.
And M2 copies.
And Farmer, I have both caps off. Do you want me to mate, or are we waiting on that?
Stand by one for now.
Okay, Farmer, can you give me some words on the strap? I may be able to install it from right here.
Yeah, so as the strap comes down, the first step is placing the side of the strap that has the quarter turn fasteners over the tether point on the electronics box.
Okay. And which way does that quarter turn fastener face? I think I may need to put it on the other side.
So the Velcro that's on the strap points towards the stanchion.
Grow toward the stanchion.
And then once you have that on there with the Velcro toward the stanchion.
Which side should the French hook be on? Should the French hook be on the side The nadir side or the zenith side?
The French hook should be on the nadir side.
Nadir side, okay. There we go.
And that looks like a good config there, Ike.
Thank you.
And once you get the that end of the strap around there, you can use your end effector on the tether point to hold it in place while you fish the other end around the backside of it.
Thank you. Supposed to go over that lock cable. Here, I'm going to release it. Again? No. Good? Yep, it's good. Okay. Can you tell me how the cable, the tether, the strap is? Is it twisted? It does look like it has one twist. Okay. Well, can you reach it? Thank you. I can. All right, so you can see it there. How does it look when it comes around? Be like this, like that? Yeah. Okay, there you go.
And just a reminder for you guys, there is another arm position if you think that would be helpful. Otherwise, looks like you guys are making some progress right now too.
Yeah, that looks flat, Ike. About the strap? Yeah, perfect. Okay, I got the quarter turn fastener in, and then farmer confirm I use this long wire tie to wire tie it through that loop.
A-firm, once the quarter turn fasteners are done, all you have to do is find the squished end of that wire tie and feed it through there. It doesn't need 3 turns or anything like that. Just put it in place to help hold it in there.
Quarter turn fastener is mated, and the wire tie is through. See the tightening part of it over there? I do. You able to snug it down? I can. Let me get a little better position. You hold on to it? Got it. Oh, it's tightening on itself, so it's not going anywhere. Yeah, no, I just help me get hard in. How's that look? Looks good. And now we've got the French hook there in place. I can see it. So you've got some slack on the WAP cable you could take up if you're able. Okay, let me just do a quick check on this side. Oh, yeah. Does look good. Okay. Take in some slack, you said? Firm. That looks good. Right there, your hook is in line with the stanchion. Roger. Soichi, I don't think we're going to need the other arm position unless you need to go there for automatic maneuver, so I think we got that.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
PM2.
Armor, anything else on this? If not, I can get moving out of the way. Are you still happy with that length? It still looks great. Okay, very good.
Yeah, and Hopper, just
I'm ready to mate.
okay.
Whenever
copy. That was going to be my next question. Yeah, you have a go to mate the WAP cable to the Ethernet cable.
Okay. So 5. Good EMI bands, good 10s.
Good words.
And I can understand you don't need any maneuvers. So are you ready for the maneuver to ESP to backup at this time?
Armor?
Yeah, Ike, before you go, if you can verify the SD camera hood.
I think so. It is still square. And Palmer, the Ethernet and the WAP cable are connected over center.
Copy the good mate, and Ike, with that inspection, you are good to leave the work site.
All right, so you guys have a go for your ping test, and Kate Soichi, I'm ready for maneuver. Go to maneuver.
You go for maneuver. That will be a maneuver for the back row position, so stand by.
You too.
And station on spacecraft 1, we see that up 19 for the road procedure.
Like to see a maneuver, first the body out, followed by the body down. So arms in motion.
Copy, go for GCA to publish.
Okay, this is actually a maneuver, but arms continue.
It's a JOCAT?
If this is a maneuver, not the GCA, and we'll be doing the manual body out, followed by body down.
Copy, go for GCA to publish. And Palmer, I have a go to go back to your lock.
Stand by 1, Hopper.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hopper, before you leave, on the WVS camera, we noticed a unassociated TA clamp that was undone.
The WVE.
No, on your helmet cam, it was at the base of the stanchion, the CP13 stanchion.
Oh, on 13.
A-firm.
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So, Hopper, when you find that TA clamp, if you can just close the TA clamp, then you can head back to the airlock. And comms back over to you, Ike.
Roger that. And it was released when I got up here. There's several TA clamps, some that are empty. You want me closing them all?
Affirm, if you can, please. Thanks.
Mike, this is JoeCast 3.5 minutes to ESP2 back off.
Go.
Arms in motion. Up you go.
Almost 3 hours and 50 minutes into today's spacewalk. The astronauts have just completed installation of the CP-13 HD camera outside of the U.S. laboratory. This comes after completion of several other tasks today, including the final lithium-ion battery being secured to the International Space Station and the final adapter plate connecting it and completing its circuit. Along with this, Glover installed the final bolt in the direct current switching unit, and this completes the battery upgrades that began in January 2017. Mike Hopkins removed an H fixture, preparing the area for upgrades to the future power system. And the team worked together to install a new HD camera on the starboard truss. Hopkins then went to the Japanese experiment module and installed a new camera to the remote manipulator system. Meanwhile, Glover was working on the CP-13 HD camera installation outside the U.S. laboratory, which the duo just finished. The International Space Station is currently flying in an orbital nighttime 263 statute miles over the Indian Ocean.
6-inch socket on the PGT for any get-ahead. Sorry, I stepped on you, Hopper. Go ahead.
Just giving a status. I'm at the top of the Cedarspur, coming down.
Roger. All right, good news. We got a good ping test on the camera. Nice work.
Thanks for the update. Thank you.
Okay, big picture for you guys. We're a little over 4 hours
I'm at the airlock.
on the PET.
Copy.
We've got a 7+30 limiting consumable, which MEDOX. Our game plan, Hopper, is for you to do the H fixture out on S4, and Ike, have you do the WIFX relocate and, the WIFX and APFR relocate and the OI WIF relocate as well.
Copy that. Ike, you good? Copy. Hi, Navy. Super. All right, Farmer, I'm at the airlock, opening the thermal cover.
Copy thermal cover. You're going to stow your GEM RMS bag in there, and you're going to retrieve crew lock bag number 1 for the H fixture.
Roger.
As you heard, the recently installed CP13 HD camera outside of the U.S. lab is reporting good configuration, and the crew continues to move ahead of the timeline today.
Are you ready for me to take comm? Ready. Go for GCA to publish.
Hey, we'll copy, we'll go.
Because the crew is ahead of schedule, they have been assigned some get-ahead tasks.
Okay, Ike, first the station zenith by 2 meters, followed by the station aft. Now it's in motion.
Okay, I may take some of that zenith off.
Moving station zenith.
Hopkins is making his way back to the airlock to retrieve the tools he needs to remove another H fixture, this one on the S4 truss.
Station aft.
Yep, I like it.
Now it's motion.
That'd be good motion, sir. That's good motion.
Good motion, about 1 meter to go.
Victor Glover is still in the Canadarm2, moving back to position. He's been tasked with relocating the APFR, or the articulating portable foot restraint, which he is currently standing in, and preparing that for an upcoming spacewalk.
Copy, continue. And Ike, this is published.
And that's perfect. GCA complete.
Copy.
And so I'm going to get out here and start my tape setter swap, and then I may have you go a little more zenith for the removal.
Currently the brakes on.
Copy, brakes on. Do you copy my last?
Copy.
And Ike, just a quick verification, pull test on the socket swap that you completed.
Full test on both the socket caddy and the PGT. Got a 7/16 swabble on my PGT.
Copy, good words.
Actually, Caden Suichi, this is a good spot. I've got a good visual of the entire arm. Let me grab my waist tether, and I'm going to have you guys go and finish that zenith.
Copy. Bye.
We've got another Ask NASA question, this one coming from Jess, asking why do the astronauts wear mirrors on their gloves? The mirrors on the gloves are actually so the astronauts can read the writing written on the front of their suits. The front of the suits are where the astronauts have control over multiple systems in their spacesuit.
Ingress, Aiden, I'll take care of all that. Once it's up a little further zenith, you have a go. CAs.
Copy, yes, stand by with changing parameters.
Copy.
And some of the writing on that spacesuit includes how the astronauts can control the switches and the O2 actuator, volume, and cooling. It's written in mirror image because it's intended to be read via that mirror on their wrist.
All right, copy that, Hopper. Check the thermal cover closed and safer handle check.
Thermal cover is closed. Checking safer handles now.
Ike, we're moving the arm station Venus. Arms in motion.
Motion, continue.
Good motion.
Motion, continue.
Continue.
How far to publish?
It's about a meter and a half, station Venus.
I think you can stop right there.
Copy. Arms motion stopped.
CA complete.
The brakes on.
The brakes on.
Okay, Ike, it appears we lost your WVS signal. Can you double check that your button is, or just press it and cycle it?
Okay, did green light.
Copy, thanks. We got you back.
We're now 4 hours into today's spacewalk, and the astronauts have completed all of their major tasks.
All right, Hopper, we see you moving.
Come up to see this first. Visual. Phase one.
And Hopper, just heads up for you, when you get out to the Sarge, we're going to be looking, the 3 Alpha BGA is going to be nadir.
Copy, nadir. Thank you. All right, Farmer. My yellow hook is back to my red reel. Back to the green reel. And my green hook is back to the red reel, both unlocked.
Copy that. And we have a day pass and a short LOS coming up in about 50 seconds.
Copy. So, and do I have a spot I have to put my green hook down? Can I get there?
Yeah, we don't have one specified, so find someplace convenient, either a cedar rail or a handrail nearby.
On the right side of your screen, Victor Glover's helmet camera.
Yes, sir.
And on the left, helmet camera belonging to Mike Hopkins. You can see Glover has now egressed or exited the APFR, the Articulating Portable Foot Restraint.
Copy. Will be a maneuver to back off.
And as you heard Ground IV Bob Hines relay to the crew members, we are in a short satellite handover. And when we return, we can expect to see more daylight outside of the space station. The station sees 16 sunrises and sunsets a day, moving at 17,500 miles an hour around the Earth.
Arms moving station forward about a meter and 50.
Copy. Right, I put my green hook down. 3011, it's just outboard of the starboard CETA cart underneath it. Copy that, if you should need it. And I'm done at ESP2 heading back to the airlock. Roger.
And Ike, that completes today's wonderful ride. Thanks for flying Rubens Express.
Well, Jackie, a repeat customer. Fly with Air Rubens anytime. Thank you.
Anytime.
Words coming from JAXA astronaut Soichi Noguchi inside the International Space Station. And this question from Gianluca, age 7, addresses exactly what we just heard, asking how do the astronauts know when the robotic arm will move and do they control it? You can see the robotic arm clearly in this picture, also known as the Canadarm2, and down to the bottom right, that's astronaut Victor Glover, who has been on the arm for much of today's spacewalk. Inside the International Space Station is Kate Rubens. You can see her there with those screens, as well as Soichi Noguchi, who have been working on controlling the robotic arm from inside the space station today. The astronaut outside knows when the arm will move because he or she is in constant contact with the astronauts inside the International Space Station and can even relay directions like how much closer or further he or she needs to be away from the task they are working on.
All right, I don't know if Farmer's back, but I'm at the Sarge. Gauntlets are in place. Copy.
Copy, Gauntlets, thanks.
All right, Farmer, the APFR is installed. The boot plate's facing nadir, and the ingress aid is folded down.
Okay, copy. Good words. We had a lot of chatter going on where you're doing this tether swap. Can we just get a quick run through of that just to make sure we got a good tether config?
Green hook to the red reel is locked. Yellow hook is locked to the green reel. Both reels are unlocked.
Copy. Sounds good. Thanks a lot.
No problem. Farmer, I'm almost back to the airlock.
Firm, you can go back to the airlock and drop off your bag. And we're going to start off with you doing the WIF-X, which you're just past. Do the WIF-X and the APFR relocate.
Okay. Yep. Should I go back and get it or just drop the bag off first?
No, drop the bag off first, and then you'll need your BRT open for it.
All right, can I open a thermal cover?
Yep.
Thermal cover is open.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Say again, Farmer.
Disregard.
On the right side of your screen is Victor Glover's helmet camera. You can see he's made it back to the airlock, but the day is not finished yet. He's going to be working on an articulating portable foot restraint, preparing that for another spacewalk in the future. Meanwhile, on the left side of your screen is Mike Hopkins' camera view. He's making his way out to conduct another H fixture removal and preparing the area for future power upgrades.
How you doing, Ike?
Dropping off this ORU bags, doing well.
All right, I'm out at 3 Alpha.
That glimpse of the Earth below Mike Hopkins from his helmet camera is a look at the South Pacific Ocean as the International Space Station flies 271 statute miles over the South Pacific Ocean south of New Zealand.
Releasing the bolts.
Bolts? Roger.
Farmer, just confirm, I don't need to grab anything out of the airlock, right?
That's correct, Ike.
Just making a deposit. All right, coming back out. Okay, Farmer, the thermal cover's closed.
Okay, copy that. Check your safer handles down, and then we'll take a glove and hap check for you.
Copy, you work. All right, Farmer, half is dry, and gloves. Only change is a little bit of that black stuff has rubbed away, so they're still looking good. Working on safer handles now.
Copy that.
You just heard NASA astronaut Victor Glover in this view from his helmet camera as he's at the airlock preparing for his next task, setting up an APFR and articulating portable foot restraint for a future spacewalk. He gave a glove and HAP check. HAP stands for Helmet Absorption Pad, and the astronauts regularly check this to make sure there's no fluid in their helmet. Additionally, as you can see, a spacewalk is a completely hands-on task, and so the astronauts conduct regular glove checks to ensure there are no tears in their gloves and they can proceed with the spacewalk.
Okay, you're going to translate to the WIF-X over on the starboard side of ESP2, WIF-3, and put it on your BRT.
On the way.
And Hopper, reminder on this H fixture, only 2 bolts are currently installed, so it's bolts 2 and 4 we're going to be working.
Copy. Bravo 7, counterclockwise 1 is set.
That's a good setting, and we're looking at bolts 2 and 4. You're going to turn both of them 1 to 2 turns only in any order. Report turns.
Roger.
This view from Mike Hopkins' helmet camera, you can tell because it is designated the number 18 in the bottom right. He is using the PGT, or the pistol grip tool, to release another H fixture. That was one of his tasks earlier today as well. And with that successful completion, as well as the other tasks that the spacewalkers were given today, they've decided to move on to future get-aheads. And we're in a current LOS, or loss of signal. These are tracked and expected throughout the spacewalk, and we will regain video communications with our astronauts shortly.
Bolt 4, 2 turns.
Copy, 2 turns, Bolt 4.
Two turns, Bolt 2.
Okay, 2 turns, Bolt 2. Keeping the same settings, Bravo 7, counterclockwise 1. We're going to release them 10 additional turns.
Here you've got a view of Victor Glover, and then his view on the right side of your screen, making his way to his next work site. Meanwhile, NASA astronaut Mike Hopkins continues removal of the bolts on the H fixture. Another handover period of the tracking data and relay satellite systems.
Okay, Farmer, I've got the width extender.
Copy that, Ike. You're going to translate out to the port CETA cart, looking for width 3.
Port C cart width 3.
And some other acronyms you just heard. Victor Glover, also known as his call sign Ike, is heading out to the port CETA cart. That stands for Crew Equipment and Translation Aid.
On the CETA cart.
He'll be working with the WIF, or the worksite interface, and preparing the area for another upcoming spacewalk.
All right, 4 released with 7 turns, 2 released with 8 turns.
Copy, 7 turns on Bolt 4, 8 turns on Bolt 2. All right, just verify all 4 of the bolts are released. If you need to, you can use your fingers to continue releasing them.
Roger. All right, I'm headed up to CETA Spur. Roger.
And copy that, Ike. And obviously, with us doing the get-aheads, please keep an eye on the safety tethers as we move starboard.
Hoppers and I just got acquainted. It's good, we're clear.
So, Farmer,
Yes, sir.
I can't get my fingers in there to remove one and
Copy that. Stand by 1.
it's just set fingers, but it's hard to get your finger inside these. If you remember on that H fixture, bolts go down into a... Okay, I did get one. I'm working 3 now.
And when they're released, they should pop out. So I don't know if you can tell that at all while you're messing with it.
Okay, all 4 are released.
Copy, all 4 are released. So you can retrieve the wedge assembly if that's what you want to do again, and put them in the H-fixture channel.
Yes, that's what I want to do.
It's viewed from Mike Hopkins' helmet camera. He just removed the H fixture that was removed from the station earlier, and he's now working to remove the second of the day, a get-ahead task since all others have been completed.
Copy that, Ike. Once you get up to WIF 3, you're going to put the WIF-X in settings of 7 Alpha 1.
7 Alpha 1. Okay. And 7, clocking of 7 would have it pointing like Nader and Hubbard. Is that what you have in mind?
Should be Nader and Port.
Okay, if I put it at 7, I think. All right, let me just try it and see. Okay, yep, you're right. Putting Nader and Port toward the bottom center of the seated cart. Okay, 7 Alpha are set. Full twist test. It is lock, black on black.
Okay, copy that, Ike. And then next you're going to retrieve the APFR that's there on the SETA cart WIF 2, and you're going to install that into the WIF-X.
H fixtures released.
Nice work. You're the H-fixture black belt.
It's the wedge tool.
Hey, Farmer, I'm having a hard time getting to the indication on the 1 versus 2. Can you just tell me, is that where they collapse or is it extended?
1 should be fully collapsed.
It is 7 Alpha 1 set. 7 the APFR.
Copy, good words. Yeah, and go ahead, Ike.
Farmer, you want a full tool in?
Yeah, sorry. If we can get some pictures of the GSE pad before you leave.
Will do. And you need a full inventory of the bag?
Yes, please. We would like an inventory of the bag.
Roger. On the integral rep, I've got an adjustable Nike. You good for me to go ahead and do this?
Give me the APFR settings, Farmer, and then you got it.
Okay, Ike, your APFR settings are going to be 12 Sierra Golf 3. And Hopper, if you stand by on that inventory for a second.
12 Copy.
Four hours and 25 minutes into today's spacewalk, Mike Hopkins has successfully removed another H fixture.
C-pad, and then you can just leave that out. We're going to do the next task is a photo task, and then we'll do the inventory after that.
Roger. Okay, Farmer, clock to 12. Good pull and twist test, black on black.
Good words.
Hello, Sierra, Sierra, Golf 3.
Affirm.
All right, Farmer. I need to go ahead and do some of this inventory and get some of this stuff back in the bag.
Okay, that's fine. We're ready to copy.
Okay. All right. I've got a single red to an adjustable to a hammer and a, I can't remember. PRS, what is this, PRS?
BRS, affirm. Pin tool and sheath.
Yeah. Then I got an integral to a pry bar, and that's going. The integral's going to adjustable to the pry bar, and then the other end is empty. And that one. I've got an adjustable, a second adjustable that has an H fixture. Got a small ret with the camera. Got an integral with the wedge assembly. I've got an integral with the adjustable and two pliers. I've got a small with an adjustable and a combo wrench and an H fixture. And I think that's it. And then on the outside, I've got an adjustable.
Hey, that's a good inventory, Hopper.
Okay, Farmer, 12 Sierra, Sierra Golf 3, and that APFR has a really sticky pitch knob.
Okay, copy that. Confirm that it you were able to get it to pop back out after you set.
Confirm.
Okay, copy that. That's a good install. You can go ahead and head back towards the airlock. Your next task is going to be to relocate the OI whiff.
Work.
And Hopper, while you're buttoning that thing up, game plan for you is to do some of the photo ops on the mini pump module on P1.
Roger.
All right, Farmer, I am tally the OI with.
Okay, copy that. Just confirm we're on the forward side of the equipment lock.
Confirm at airlock with 3.
Okay, good words. You can ret to the tether points and lift the 2 tabs and slide the OI whiff off. It slides away from the tether point.
Copy, inward.
Now over 4 hours and 31 minutes into today's spacewalk, which began at 6:56 a.m. Central Time this morning. The astronauts have completed all of their major tasks and moved on to get-aheads, of which Mike Hopkins has completed another H-fixture removal, preparing the station for future power upgrades. And Victor Glover has completed work on an APFR, or an articulating portable foot restraint, preparing the station for future spacewalks.
Farmer, I have the OI whiff on my workstation. Heading to the aft end of the equipment lock.
Okay, good words. Just a landmark for you as you go around the wagon wheel and come up the aft side. Handrail 0510 is when you want to start moving port.
0510, start port. 2.
And Hopper, when you get a chance, glove and hap check, please.
Okay. All right, crew lock badge 1 is on my BRT.
We've got another handover between the tracking data and relay satellite system, and we will regain communications and video with the crew shortly. In the meantime, a look back at all that has been accomplished in the last 4 hours and 34 minutes. NASA astronauts Mike Hopkins and Victor Glover secured the final lithium-ion battery to the International Space Station and installed the final adapter plate, completing its circuit.
Copy that, and we just got good words on a good pan and tilt test for CP13, so 3 for 3 in the cameras today. Nice work.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Good news, thank you. All right, Farmer, I'm in the vicinity. I see with locations 5 and 6.
Okay, stand by 1 second, Ike.
Hopkins then moved on to remove an H fixture, preparing the station for future power upgrades before the duo moved on to complete CP3 camera installation, an HD camera aboard the starboard truss.
As you translate back, we're going to need you to check the brakes on the CETA cart, and then the next task for the MPM is going to be out at the S0P1 base 6 bulkhead.
Okay. Let's do we'll get the data cards first, and then we'll the other items.
Roger that. Big picture, you're just heading over towards P1.
Roger.
Okay, Ike, looks like you slid, I see the OI whiff on there. We're looking for whiff 6. You're going to slide it onto the fitting and then verify that the 2 tabs are down and look for a pull test.
work.
The team also completed Japanese robotic arm camera replacement and installed an upgraded camera outside the U.S. lab, which Bob Hines just relayed has checked out well and performing as expected. This view from Mike Hopkins' helmet camera, giving you a glimpse at those batteries aboard the International Space Station.
How you guys are feeling?
Super. Hi, Navy. Means good.
Okay, Farmer, gloves still look good on my left and pinky. The RTV, the bottom digit, a little bit of peeling, the same about an eighth of an inch, maybe a quarter of an inch, and an eighth of an inch worth of it peeling up. Most of it's still connected, and the fabric underneath is good to go. Other than that, no change. My half is dry.
Copy that. And that left finger, is that changed from earlier, or is that pretty much the same?
The earlier one was my right pinky. Same place on my right and left pinky. The earlier one was right. This one is left.
Copy that. Good words. All right, Ike, next task for you, we're going to do the magnetic plate R&R at the airlock there. So you can head back, open the thermal cover, and you're going to retrieve the crew lock bag for the airlock task.
Me too.
Okay, Farmer, Ike, come in board of the Sarge. News.
Copy that, Hopper. And Hopper, you're going to continue port. You're looking for mile marker 8420.
8420. Roger, coming up on the starboard seat of cart. And my green hook.
And Ike, when you get into the airlock, it's going to be crew lock bag 3.
Copy, crew lock bag 3. Thermal cover is coming open.
All right, Farmer, I got my green rail back. My green hook.
Copy that.
Okay, Farmer, I've got the crew lock bag number 3.
Okay, you can secure that bag to the airlock handrail right near the hatchway with an adjustable. Just make sure that the doors are pointing towards the hatchway.
see the cart brake pedal release, 2 pushes. Copy that, Hopper. I heard you. Roger.
Sorry, we didn't hear anything, Hopper. Was that for us?
Yep, I was just telling you, starboard, see the cart brake handle was pushed twice.
Copy that, thanks.
You bet. Hey, Farmer, I have the bag.
Okay, out of the bag, you're going to retrieve the IV wrench and secure it to the old magnetic plate. So just let the magnet pull the wrench.
Yeah, the magnet's not very strong, and the force of the red is actually pulling it off. I'll lock the red out, but that magnetic force is not very strong.
Copy, standby 1.
Goodbye.
See the cart, 2 pushes on the brakes.
Astronauts Mike Hopkins and Victor Glover have been on their spacewalk now for 4 hours and 43 minutes. They have moved into get-ahead tasks after completing all of their major scheduled tasks for today.
I'll keep an eye on it. I'll go slow, and I'll just make sure to tend to it. So it is weak. It's not as strong as the one that's in the bag, as the new magnetic plate. But I'll keep that in mind. But I'm ready to take it off if you are.
Okay, copy that. It's just a warning. Remember, the Zeus fasteners could have sharp edges. And as you're looking at it, note the position of the fastener alignment markings.
Copy. Kind of points towards the center of the hatch opening.
Copy, good words. Retrieve the T-handle tool, and you can release both Zeus fasteners. It's going to be counterclockwise, a quarter turn only.
Copy. That's the release position I was giving you. They release point toward the center of the hatchway. Okay, I've got the plate in hand. Wrench is still held to it. They're both going in the bag.
NASA astronaut Victor Glover, you can see his helmet camera view on the right-hand side, is at the airlock.
Retrieve the new magnetic plate. Also being careful with that one. Lock out the ret as needed to alleviate the side loads.
Glover is working to remove and replace a magnetic plate that helps the thermal cover, which you can see open at the airlock. It helps the thermal cover stay in place. We're in a satellite handover, and we'll regain communications and video with the crew shortly. But currently, you're looking at the inside of Mission Control Houston at NASA's Johnson Space Center. This room is staffed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, as all of the flight controllers manage, maintain, and help improve the systems aboard the International Space Station.
The new magnetic plate is aligned.
Okay, hoppers at base 6.
Copy that. Standby 1. Ike, for the Zeus fasteners here, you're going to go clockwise slowly until the Zeus fastener drops in, and then you're going to go clockwise to a quarter turn to fasten it.
B2.
We're in another satellite handover as NASA astronaut Victor Glover, or as you'll hear him referred to as Ike, which is his call sign, is at the airlock and working to remove and replace a magnetic plate that helps the thermal cover stay closed.
Fastener 1 is installed.
Copy that.
Fastener 2 is installed. The full test, both sides are solid.
Copy that. Sounds like a good install. Nice work. And when you get a chance, give a good pull test using the tether point, and then we'll take an inventory of the crew lock back.
Good pull test using the tether point. Let me grab the red off of it, and then I'll give you the inventory.
Got pictures that you want, Farmer?
Yeah, so confirm you're at base 6 on S0P1.
Affirmative. Yep.
Okay, we're going to be photographing the just zenith of the DDCU 3 Bravo. We're looking for the MBA connectors and panel and the surrounding structure. It's basically in the zenith.
Zenith of DDCU.
That's good words. It's the zenith port quadrant of base 6.
See a nitrogen tank.
Okay, you might have you might be one bay too far. So go back to the next bulkhead further starboard, and the DDCU should be there. And the connectors we're trying to get are just above that DDCU. Was that mile marker we gave you too far along?
I think it might have been. That's okay.
Okay, sorry about that.
Are you ready for the inventory?
Okay, copy that, Ike. We're ready, and since you only opened half of the bag, we only need the inventory on that side.
Okay, but I stuck the wrench, I stuck the IV wrench and the magnetic plate on the other side to keep it in, with a closed door while I was doing the other one. So they're on the other side and on The side I used, I have a ret to the T-handle tool, and then an empty ret. And that's it.
Okay, and I think you said that they may have been on the other side, but the IVA wrench and the magnetic plate are both in there too.
They are on the other side, but yes.
Copy that. That's a good inventory.
Okay, I'm at the port zenith, right above the DCU.
Yeah, it looks like the right spot up there. So we're basically looking for good imagery of those connectors and the surrounding structure that are just zenith of the DDCU.
Roger.
And if you see TA clamps or P clamps, those are the kinds of things we're also trying to get in the picture.
Roger.
This view from helmet camera of NASA astronaut Victor Glover, who has just completed a removal and replacement of an airlock magnet. This new magnet will help keep the thermal cover on the airlock closed.
And Ike, just confirm that your PGT currently has a 6-inch wobble on it.
Confirmed. That is correct.
Okay, copy that.
All right, Farmer, any other pictures?
A-firm, Hopper, stand by 1 second. Actually, if you want to go ahead and translate one bay, I guess it might be 2 bays over, bay 10, mile marker 8820, should be right near the pump module. And how are you feeling, Hopper, or Ike?
Maybe.
It's unclear. Is that good or bad?
Well, what are you thinking, Farmer? Well, what are you thinking, Farmer?
Funny.
Yeah, Hopper, so we're looking at the port side of the pump module. We've got some more photos there. There's the MOI attachment and then bay 10 overview.
Yeah, no, I copy that. I'm just saying, what are you guys thinking from the get-aheads? Because
So
we had a good day.
Yep, totally agree. There are 3 more photo sites that are kind of in line here, just along Phase 1, that would be part of this get-ahead that you're doing. And then for Ike, we were going to send him out to do the MMOD bolt release out at P4.
Tell you what, why don't we take these pictures and call it a day?
Okay, that sounds like a good plan.
Okay, I'm at Bay 10. Copy that, Hopper.
Okay, copy that, Ike. Or sorry, Hopper, you're at Bay 10, should be around mile marker 8820.
8880 is where it starts.
Okay, and basically we're just looking for a photo of the MOI attachment points along the MPM.
Along the MPM. Along the pump module?
Yeah, so if you just get just port of the pump module, and then take the picture as you're looking aft and starboard along that side of the pump module.
Roger.
And Ike, we're just going to hold you in position if you want to maybe take a look in the airlock and make sure that things are tidied up.
Tidy is not a not a word I'd use to describe the airlock right now.
Copy that. And
I'll do what I can.
Copy that, and no hurry if you want to hang out and relax too. That's fine.
If I can put some of these bungees to use.
Yeah, I tried with the WDE.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still there.
4 hours and 57 minutes into today's spacewalk, and the International Space Station is flying 265 statute miles over the southern coast of Ireland. This view is from the helmet camera of NASA astronaut Victor Glover on his second spacewalk today.
Okay,
This is the helmet camera of Mike Hopkins. My apologies. He is taking photos of the external portions of the space station to document its current state. Meanwhile, Victor Glover is at the airlock, having just wrapped up a removal and replacement of an airlock magnet to help the thermal cover stay in place. These were both get-ahead tasks on today's timeline, the astronauts having completed all of their major tasks, moving swiftly and ahead of schedule the entire time.
Coming your way.
Okay. I've opened up the middle as much as I can. That the medium or you guys are looking pretty good. The ETDCG is it's gonna make it a little challenging.
You got it up forward against the hatch?
It is aft and against the hatch.
Yeah, okay.
All right, and I'm hanging out in my usual place, aft.
All right, top of the Seaspur. See ya. Enjoying the views?
enjoying the view.
Both of our astronauts coming into frame now. In the left, you can see Mike Hopkins with the red stripes around his spacesuit, who was EV1, or Extravehicular Crew Member 1, for today's spacewalk, his fourth. And on the right is Victor Glover on his second spacewalk.
Okay. We are both at the airlock, and I think it's time. I'm going to take one last look around, watch the sunset. Beautiful view. All right.
Yeah, enjoy the view. You guys did a great job today. You guys rocked it. When you get a chance, if someone can take a look at the airlock hatch pip pin before we start ingressing.
Roger.
I can see him easy.
Okay, Ike. My waist tether is to the D-ring in the airlock. Tail closed, slider lock, black on black. Got a good pull test. And let me put my screw lock bag inside. Happy. Thank you. Welcome.
We're experiencing another satellite handover as the astronauts prepare to ingress or enter the airlock following today's spacewalk. The spacewalk itself won't be considered complete until repressurization of the airlock begins.
Okay. ED1 is in the airlock, and I am transitioning to Hopper and ED2. EV1 for ingress. Ike copies. And confirm. So you got a good safety tether change to your waist tether? I do, but just let me get a double check on it. That's affirmative. Airlock D-ring extender, bell close, side lock, black on black, good pull test.
Copy that. My waist tether, small hook is locked to my right D-ring extender. Big hook is locked to your safety tether anchor hook. Gate closed, locked black on black. I've got your safety tether anchor hook. Off the handrail, locked to my hook, black on black. Good pull test between the two. That is now my chain. Isn't that in the airlock? And I will grab my safety tether anchor bolt hook off the forward starboard. Roger. And whenever you're ready, I will come on in.
Come on in, Ike.
Bell.
Got the camera group. It is on the aft side, but I've got it held low.
Okay.
If you're able to come up high.
I'll do that.
All right, nice job on the ingress. When you guys are ready, you can remove the SDUs from the stowage pouches and install them on your DCM.
Roger.
Okay. Thermal cover is closed. I bring my feet up a little bit more.
Yeah, you hitting it? You want me to pull it down?
Maybe I'm hitting something else.
There you go. How about that? That's about as low as I can get the light. Camera group. How's that feel?
Okay. I think I'm going to need to come
further aft?
Okay.
Further
I think I
towards the
can work
hatch?
it from here. I think I can work it from here.
I can probably get you a little more room.
When it's time to close the hatch, I may need to go a little more port.
Roger.
Okay, right here you say put the DCM, SUs to DCM?
Yes.
Okay. UV1 in work.
UV2 in work.
NASA astronauts Mike Hopkins and Victor Glover are back inside the crew lock portion of the Quest airlock with the thermal cover closed.
Any more than a 5-inch gap anywhere on the thermal cover.
It looks good. I don't see any gaps from my perspective.
Copy that. Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, UV1 SCU to DCM. Locked. Full test.
And by for UV2.
This view of JAXA astronaut, Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency Soichi Noguchi, and NASA astronaut Kate Rubins. These two were maneuvering the Canadarm2 from inside the International Space Station today and helping Victor Glover reach where he needed to be on his various work sites.
And Hopper confirmed your SCU is connected?
Nope, not yet.
Copy.
Okay, UV2. SCU is connected.
Okay, copy that. Reminder, a TCV setting of 8 will minimize the SCU cooling time. And with that, you guys can switch water to off. Expect your H2O is off message.
V1, water off.
TV2, water off.
Copy that. That starts our 2-minute timer before closing the hatch.
Roger.
Rubens and Noguchi in your screen now are standing by to help the astronauts out of their suits after depressurization of the crew lock portion of the Quest airlock. The start of depressurization will mark the end of the spacewalk, but will be on the air until the astronauts remove their helmets.
Before I move the hatch, there's a lot of stuff in here. It wants to go everywhere.
Copy all.
Okay, Farmer, now I'm seeing a little bit of a gap in the thermal cover, but it's maybe 2 inches on the forward side. Doing a little potato chipping.
Copy that. That's a good config.
V1.
Okay, that's the completion of the 2-minute timer. Again, verifying the hatchway is clear, and verify also that the handle position is per the hatch decal, then you can close the hatch.
Work. All right, I'm going to need to come down your way a little bit, Roger.
Yeah, I'm as far forward as I can get. Stand by, I can give you maybe a little more. About that.
Perfect.
Five hours and 15 minutes into today's spacewalk, and Victor Glover working to close the hatch.
I might need to go down a little bit more. My foot's covering something.
Okay.
The left foot. Perfect. Whatever you just did, that did it. Thank you. All right. They're closing decal.
not.
Interesting.
Or at least I didn't see it, yeah.
Okay, so latched.
Put it in the locked.
Before you move it?
No. Once you put it in the locked position, or the latch position, I put it in locked.
Yep. Copy. Okay, going counterclockwise. Latched and locked. Sweet. Full test. Hatch is closed. Pad is closed.
Copy that. Hatch closed and locked. With that, Hopper, you can switch on the UIA oxygen for EMU 1 and 2 to open.
And that's a check. Oxygen EMU 1 and 2 are already open.
Yep, good call. Next, switch power EV1 and 2 to on.
Power EV1 is on with a good light, volts 18.6. Power EV2 is on with a good light, volts 18.6.
Good words. On your DCM, switch power to SCU. Expect a warning tone.
One power SCU.
EV2, power SCU.
The Quest airlock hatch is now closed as the astronauts prepare for repressurization.
Okay, with that, over to you, Soichi, to continue with crew lock repress and the repress cue card.
Copy, Farmer. Thanks for your help. And EB1, EB2 are ready for the crew lock repress.
We are ready.
EB1, EB2, set O2 actuator to press.
Press. Oh, EB1.
EV2, press.
Copy. And the number 2, check the EV hatch MPEV closed.
MPEV closed.
Okay, check, great. Okay, now we are starting to repress IB hatch equalization valve throttle off to norm, and we'll keep it very, very slow. If you guys are ready, we're starting the repress.
EB1.
EV2.
Houston Station, repress start at 0617.
Houston copy, 0617.
And the EB1, EB2, expect alert tone.
EB1.
2.
And the EB1, EB2, how do you like the rate of repress?
For EV2, sorry. Good job. No worries.
Copy, good rate. We'll keep it slow.
The beginning of repressurization marks the official end of the spacewalk at 12:15 p.m. Central Time, bringing today's total to a 5-hour and 19-minute spacewalk, beginning at 6:56 a.m. Central Time this morning. Today's spacewalk, which started at 6:56 a.m. Central Time, has now completed, wrapping up at 12:16 p.m. Central Time, marking a 5-hour and 20-minute spacewalk for Mike Hopkins and Victor Glover. Repressurization continues in the crew lock portion of the Quest airlock. Meanwhile, this view from the equipment lock side, you have Soichi Noguchi and Kate Rubins stepping the astronauts through their procedures.
Over to EV1. Over to Hopper.
Yeah, you can decrease a little bit.
Okay, we'll slightly increase the rate. Okay, rate increase. How do you like the speed? EV1, EV2?
EV1's good to go.
EV2 good.
And EV and EV2, the next section is when the crew lock at 4.0, you will hear the alert tone. And the crew lock at 5, we will close the equalization valve to off. And you guys expect under that alert tone. How copy?
EV1.
Thank you.
As repressurization continues, a look back at what the astronauts accomplished on today's spacewalk. Mike Hopkins and Victor Glover completed the battery replacement work that began in January 2017 by securing the final lithium-ion battery to the International Space Station and installing the final adapter plate that completes the power circuit. They also drilled one bolt to secure the DCSU, or the direct current switching unit, before Mike Hopkins moved to remove an H fixture, which helps prepare the space station for future power upgrades. Victor Glover moved on to a CP3 HD camera installation on the starboard truss. And Mike Hopkins completed the Japanese experiment module remote manipulator system upgrade for a new camera there as well. The duo worked together to complete an upgrade for a CP13 HD camera installed outside the U.S. lab, and that completed the major tasks for the day, so they moved on to get-aheads. Mike Hopkins completed an additional H fixture removal. Meanwhile, Victor Glover worked on an articulating portable foot restraint, helping configure that for a future spacewalk. Glover also removed and replaced an airlock magnet that will help the thermal cover stay in place, and Hopkins took photos of the exterior of the space station to document its current state. That brought us to a 5-hour and 20-minute spacewalk.
EV1, EV2, how do you like the rate?
Okay, if you want to go up a little.
EV2, is 2.
So EV2, you're good with going up?
Yep.
Thank you. Increasing. And repress rate increased.
With the completion of today's spacewalk, we have a look at the updated numbers. It was the 234th spacewalk in support of space station assembly, maintenance, and upgrades. It was the second spacewalk conducted this year and the third for Expedition 64, one of those being conducted out of the Poisk module and 2 out of the Quest module, which you saw today. This was the fourth spacewalk of Hopkins' career for a total of 25 hours and 14 minutes. It was the second spacewalk of Glover's career for a total of 12 hours and 16 minutes. Today's spacewalk lasted 5 hours and 20 minutes in total, and of the 234 spacewalks that have occurred in support of station assembly, maintenance, and upgrades, totals 61 days, 7 hours, and 7 minutes of spacewalking time.
All right, EV1, EV2, how do you like the rate?
EV1's good. EV2 is good. If you need to go up a little bit, I'm okay, Ike, if you want. Same.
Copy. You assume it'll be a 4.0, so we're looking for the 5.0.
One.
Do we increase the rate?
Yes. All right, I see 4.0 EV2.
Copy 4.0. We'll stop at 5.0.
We're in a satellite handover with the International Space Station. The spacewalk having wrapped up at 12:16 p.m. Central Time and lasting 5 hours and 20 minutes. Repressurization continues in the crew lock portion of the Quest airlock.
EV2, I see 5.0.
Copy. EV1, EV2, ID hatch equalization valve is off, and now we're starting 2-minute timer.
Roger that, and I show 5.1 as the final.
Copy 5.1.
EV1.
Soichi Noguchi of JAXA and Kate Rubins of NASA monitoring the repressurization of the crew lock portion of the Quest airlock. Again, today's spacewalk lasting 5 hours and 20 minutes.
Houston Station, the P1 is 2:48. I need 1 more minute for P2.
Houston copies and concurs.
Hey, Drew, from ED1, just want to say thanks to the entire ISS Upgrades 2 team, Farmer and Vincent and everybody else that worked this one. Well done. Sorry we got out a little late, but I think we had a very, very, very good day, and really appreciate you guys had everything was solid and made it easy to execute. So thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thanks, Hopper. Appreciate it. You guys did a great job today. Thanks for being flexible. We got a ton of stuff done and made station a much more capable place today. Thanks. Great work.
Thanks, Farmer. Nice job.
Hey, Hopper, if you guys leave the door on time, you finish all the contents of EVA 3. The Houston Station, the P2 is 2:48, so no change.
Airlock Houston copies. You are go to continue.
On EV2, check switch grab heaters OFF.
EV1 OFF.
EV2 OFF.
Great. EV1, EV2, check gloves for contamination.
EV1, no change on my gloves.
EV2 20.
Copy. Okay, there's a warning about the CAF checklist. Obviously doesn't apply to us. Okay, next is action. EV1, EV2, auto actuator to IV.
EV1 IV.
EV2 IV.
Great. Next is we're gonna IV hatch equalization valve moving to norm. EV members expect alert tone.
EV1.
2.
And equalization valve is open slightly. How do you like the rate?
EV1 good to go.
EV2 good to go.
And EV1, EV2, if at any time you want to decrease the speed, say out loud. Otherwise, I'm going to slowly increase the speed of repress.
EV1.
2.
EV1, EV2, we're going to slightly increase the rate.
EV1. 2.
Coming up on 20 minutes since completion of today's spacewalk, which is the repressurization beginning of the crew log portion of the Quest airlock. Repressurization continues.
EV2, we're going to increase the rate.
EV1, through.
Thank you.
As repressurization continues in the crew log portion of the Quest airlock, another look back at all of the tasks completed today by our spacewalkers. The battery upgrades that began in January 2017 were completed today when a final lithium-ion battery was secured to the International Space Station and a final adapter plate was installed, completing that power circuit. Mike Hopkins also removed an H fixture, and 3 cameras were installed as well. A CP3 camera, an HD camera that is, on the starboard truss, the Japanese Experiment Module Remote Manipulator System camera, and a CP13 HD camera installed outside the U.S. lab. The astronauts completed all of their major tasks today, allowing them the opportunity to move into their get-ahead task, which included another H fixture removal, preparing the International Space Station for future power upgrades. And Victor Glover worked to configure an articulating portable foot restraint, or APFR, for a future spacewalk. He also removed and replaced an airlock magnet to help keep the thermal cover closed. Meanwhile, Mike Hopkins took photos of the International Space Station to document its current state. That brought today's spacewalk to 5 hours and 20 minutes.
And EV1, EV2, how do you like the rate? We're almost coming to a 600.
Copy. EV1's good.
EV2's good.
I'm going to stay this rate.
Airlock Houston, space to ground 1 for words on the next procedure, 1.240.
Yeah, 1240, go for it.
Okay, Sweetie, we don't think you're going to need step 1. We will take care of step 4, and you do not have to perform step 5 or 6 as well.
Copy. Skip step 1, and you take 4, 5, and basically 6 as well. Okay. All right. Okay, we don't have to do 5, 6. Copy.
Another look back at today's numbers. This was the 234th spacewalk in support of station assembly, maintenance, and upgrades. And it was the second spacewalk of the year, but the third for Expedition 64, one having occurred out of the POISC module and 2 out of the Quest module, as we saw today. It was the 4th spacewalk of Mike Hopkins' career, totaling 25 hours and 14 minutes in all, and the second for Victor Glover, who now has 12 hours and 16 minutes of spacewalking time. Today's spacewalk lasted 5 hours and 20 minutes, and of all of the spacewalks conducted at the International Space Station, they totaled 61 days, 7 hours, and 7 minutes of spacewalking time.
Houston Station on 1. Now the crew of DPDT is almost 0, so if you guys concur, we're moving on to the 1.240 post EVA.
Airlock Houston, we are tracking and we concur.
Copy. So moving on to out of the Q car, we're moving on to post EVA. EV1, EV2, we are now officially in post EVA, and we will now open the hatch for decals. So stand by for that.
EV1. EV2.
With repressurization complete, JAXA astronaut Soichi Noguchi prepares to open the hatch between the crew lock and the equipment lock portion of the Quest airlock.
And copper, we're traveling the ETVCG.
Yep, I think that's a good plan.
NASA astronaut Kate Rubins now working to move Mike Hopkins, our EV1 or extravehicular crew member 1, into the equipment lock portion of the Quest airlock, where she and Soichi Noguchi will help him doff his spacesuit.
82 Hopper, I want to take you safer from here, so can you grab onto the 100? 100? Yeah, that's good.
Airlock Houston, space to ground 1, crew, EV crew is no longer hot mic.
Soichi Noguchi has removed Mike Hopkins' safer or simplified aid for EVA rescue. And as you saw, we didn't need that today, but always useful to have just in case. That would help the astronaut maneuver back to the International Space Station should they become detached for any reason. However, they are always using tethers to stay attached. With Hopkins back inside the equipment lock portion of the Quest airlock, Rubens and Noguchi will work to maneuver Glover back into the equipment lock portion as well. This is where they will help the spacewalkers doff their spacesuits after today's 5-hour and 20-minute spacewalk, starting at 6:56 a.m. Central Time and ending at 12:15 p.m. Central Time. 12:16 p.m. Central Time, that is. The International Space Station is currently flying 262 statute miles over the South Pacific Ocean to the west of French Polynesia. As you can see, both spacewalkers are now back inside the equipment lock portion of the Quest airlock. And NASA astronaut Victor Glover's safer or simplified aid for EVA rescue has been removed as well. You can see the workstation that allows for connections to tools and tethers has been removed from Victor Glover. The astronauts now preparing to doff their suits. Another look back at everything they accomplished today, completing all of their scheduled tasks and even several of their get-ahead tasks. First, the spacewalkers completed the battery upgrades that began in January 2017 by driving a final bolt into a lithium-ion battery and installing a final adapter plate to complete the power circuit. They also installed a bolt into a DCSU, or direct current switching unit, before Mike Hopkins moved to remove an H fixture. That prepares the International Space Station for future power upgrades. There were 3 cameras upgraded or replaced today. The first was a CP3 HD camera at the starboard truss. There was also a camera replaced on the Japanese experiment module remote manipulator system, and a CP13 HD camera installed outside the U.S. lab. That completed the main scheduled tasks for our spacewalkers, and they moved into get-ahead tasks, beginning with another H fixture removal by Hopkins and APFR, or articulating portable foot restraint configuration, for a future spacewalk by Victor Glover. Glover also removed and replaced an airlock magnet to help the thermal cover stay closed, and Hopkins took photos of the exterior of the station to document its current state. From the time the spacewalkers switched their suits to internal power at 6:56 a.m. Central Time this morning, it took them 5 hours and 20 minutes to complete the aforementioned tasks, concluding the spacewalk at 12:16 p.m. Central Time. The installation of the battery completed today, as well as the 3 cameras, have all been reported to be in good configuration. Hopkins and Glover are now removing their spacewalk gloves, which can be very rigid to use in during a spacewalk outside the International Space Station. So the suit is kept at a pressure of 4.3 psi, or pounds per square inch, to make that flexibility a little bit easier. And Victor Glover is all smiles after having his helmet removed, today being his second spacewalk after completing his first just last Wednesday. Soichi Noguchi and Kate Rubins working to remove the helmet from Mike Hopkins, today's lead spacewalker. Now that both astronauts have their helmets removed, we are going to wrap up today's coverage. Thanks so much for tuning in to the spacewalk today, where Mike Hopkins and Victor Glover completed the final upgrades of the battery power system, as well as installed 3 new cameras. We are looking forward to 2 other EVAs or spacewalks in the future, and we hope you'll join us for those as well, so stay tuned for more information. But for today, that's it for us. This is Mission Control Houston.
Introduces the Artemis team of astronauts, progress on hardware for upcoming Artemis missions, and the science priorities for our next human mission on the moon. A few of the stories to tell you about this week at NASA. On December 9th, we announced 18 NASA astronauts that will form the